Hi there, I'm Phil and I'm part of the customer success team here at Figured, and I'll be taking you through Commercial Manager today. Now hopefully we're all in agreement that farming is a volatile business full of variables. No 2 days are the same, and daily events on the farm have an impact on the bottom line. We've spent years developing and designing Figured to give you full visibility of the farm's financial performance, helping you make better decisions off current relevant information. Collaborative input from experts advisors can flow through to a farmer's plan or reforecast with ease, and we've got all the reporting you need to monitor that progress. In fact, we're really proud of the positive impact the farming team can make using Figured and Xero together. Some would argue, myself being one of them, that having a plan and understanding the numbers contained within it is a hallmark of many successful businesses. Now 2020 has been a challenge to most, but definitely more so for some than others. COVID has decimated certain industries. I personally spent a decade in the travel industry, and it's pretty dire for my old mates. And this has left many businesses concerned about their viability and future. As we enter another period of uncertainty, with new lockdowns, the upcoming removal of the wage subsidy, granted it's just been recently extended by a couple of weeks, and loan holidays likely to stop, many businesses are having more questions than they do answers. Now more than ever, a strong understanding of your current financial position and a well-crafted plan is what those businesses need, and you as their advisors are in the best position to help them get a little bit more sleep at night. Really, it's just an extension of what you would do for your agri clients through volatile periods. Also, don't forget to make sure you're monitoring the health and cash flow of your own business. I know we at Figured are doing this on a weekly basis. Helping clients ride out this economic uncertainty in turn helps your financial viability. Try to make sure your client list as of today looks the same as it does in 6 months' time. Now what I've just discussed is why we've fast-tracked the development of Figured Commercial Manager, taking the best features from our world-class agri-financial management platform and making it fit for commercial businesses. So let's think about Figured and its core engine as it stands. We've got the planning grid. It's been designed to be as user-friendly as a spreadsheet, but with the bonus of being connected to Xero's award-winning accounting software. This means you can build a financial plan to the level of detail that suits you and keep it up to date in real time. And those plans aren't confined to rigid timelines. A user can continually update and adjust forecasts off the back of actual information flowing through from Xero, capturing snapshots of these changes for reporting purposes. And within the reporting, we've got cash flow, profit and loss, balance sheets, along with a great variance reporting feature where you can view that performance comparing plans and forecasts to the actuals that have been come through from Xero. Since introducing Commercial Manager a little bit over a month ago, we've taken on the feedback from you, our partners, and delivered a series of improvements to complement Figured's core functionality of that powerful planning grid, detailed management reporting, and deep integration with Xero. So over that time, we've delivered custom account categories. Realizing that commercial businesses have a variety of unique accounting categories, we've created a first within Figured, the ability to customize those account categories. We've also added scenarios functionality to Commercial Manager so that advisors can work with their clients to model the long-term financial impact of major decisions or changes in their business. And lastly but not least, we've added multi-enterprise, bringing group reporting across to Commercial Manager. You can report on multiple businesses in Figured from one Xero account, utilizing tracking categories to differentiate between each of those enterprises. Commercial Manager also gives you the chance as a practice to gain some efficiency through standardization. Use that same planning tool that you love for your agri clients now with your commercial ones. Right, let's have a quick look at what Commercial Manager offers. Now, when you add a client, you'll have the option to create Commercial Manager in the drop-down. Now, before we get into the exciting stuff like planning, I just want to point out account code categorization. You can still copy from a similar entity as a starting point if you like, but now, as mentioned earlier, you can create your own classifications. Just add what you want it to be and where you think it should be grouped under, and then you'll be able to categorize your account codes to it, which means you can set up the planning grid and reports to display in a way that means something to you or your clients. Now, if you've got some clients sitting there currently on zero, especially a cash book or a business edition, you'll have a load of transactional data sitting there, just waiting to be brought into Figured when you set up, giving you access to all that great fiscal information when you start looking to build out a plan. Now, when you do start to build out that plan, in your empty planning grid, you can either type in those figures directly into the cells, or you can select Tools up the top here, and from there you'll see the import and export functions that allow you to bring in data as a starting point. Now, we're about to release something that's really exciting there around being able to just directly import from a snapshot as well, so stay tuned for that. But for the moment, also note that the export will allow you to pull that information out and manipulate it in a spreadsheet and then re-import, so you've got some flexibility there, as well as import into Xero if you need. There's a format. All of this which takes the previous year's actuals and brings it into the planning grid to give you a great starting point. With all that information, you can then go about tweaking it to build out your plan. In my example, we can see general expenses were a bit overcooked. At 30k, that's possibly quite an understatement. Clicking into the first cell gives us the options to copy, spread, or adjust a figure by a percentage. In this case, we'll take a figure of $2,500 and spread it across the year. When I'm spreading, I'm going to choose the curve option, which is going to pick up the previous year's expense profile and apply it to that figure that I've entered. Then it's going to do all the hard work for me and spread that $2,500 across the 12 months for me. From the planning grid, you can utilize cool tools like our automatic overdraft interest calculator. Turn it on, set it up, and watch it magically calculate overdraft interest when the bank balance dips into overdraft, meaning you don't have to. Once you've made all the adjustments you need to, and you're happy with this plan, you can approve the annual plan. This will be your very first snapshot. Give it a name and some detail. The info will be helpful as you start to do more reforecasting and have more and more snapshots sitting there. And then off you go. You can continue to reforecast and capture new snapshots, but that annual plan and all the other snapshots will be sitting there waiting for you to use them in reports. Now, with the recently extended wage subsidy to end sometime into the future, I want to factor that back into my forecast. Searching for salaries, I select the month I think it's liable to stop, giving me the options to copy, spread or adjust. In this case, I'm going to choose to copy, enter the figure salaries normally sit at, and then let the system do all the work and populate that for the remainder of the year with that figure for me. Now, data in Xero, as it gets reconciled, comes into Figured, meaning I can view those actuals and use them in the planning grid to help with my reforecasting. Or, just as importantly, utilize it in Figured's reporting. I can run a variance report to check performance, keeping on top of where things are going to plan or not. Possibly there's a bit too much red in my income there. With loads of additional data to add to the report, we've got sitting there what you need to stay on track. Or when running reports, I can add extra things like a comparison line, which you can see showing up here in light blue. I can also share the report in the top right. Now, as I save that report, I'll be able to share it with others, as well as be able to click into the various figures within that report and add comments as I go. Great way to collaborate over it. Now, Scenarios is an amazing tool. It allows us to take existing data, extrapolate it out up to 10 years into the future. Now, some practices utilize this as a discussion point in annual accounts meetings to check if where it looks like the business is heading aligns with the owner's goals. Often, this opens up a discussion for planning and advisory. But where it really comes into its own is teasing out future potentialities. Whether it's expansion, checking the viability of some new large expensive purchase, or some upcoming volatility that you see on the horizon. Scenarios gives you the chance to model out and measure the impact of financial decisions before you've made them. Scenarios can also be copied, so once you've created one, you can keep modeling out new things against it. A scenario can be based off existing actuals or forecast data, can also be just started as a blank. The addition of assets and liabilities gives you the handy opening position down the bottom here with an LVR and equity position. And from there, you can add a proposition. This is where you can enter future possibilities that you want to test out and see the impact across the years. Income and expenses based off that data that you've started it off with can be extrapolated out very quickly and easily across the term of the scenario, with the ability to also manipulate at a granular level if needed. Then you get the ability to check out the reports. There's the summary, which is sort of like a highlight reel of what's happening within that scenario. The profit and loss, the balance sheet. In this case, let's have a quick look at the cash flow. Now I can drill into areas to get more information. Or, if I just want to quickly look at things, I can use the visual indicators to visually see the impact of the future I've modelled out within that scenario. If you've got multiple enterprises on the same Xero account, with tracking set up and being assigned while you're reconciling things, then you can set up multi-enterprise. Now, once you've set this up, it's going to allow you to view at an individual or a consolidated level in places like the dashboard or the planning grid. And we can also see that within reporting. We'll love the flexibility of seeing it down at that individual level or at a group consolidated level. Now, your knowledge of how to ride out volatile periods is ingrained from your agri-advisory experience, and now it's your commercial clients needing access to that business acumen and advice to help them see out 2020 as a going concern. If you can identify them as needing that assistance, make sure they know that they can get it from you. It could make all the difference to that business. We're pretty sure, utilising the in-house knowledge you currently have of agri-planning using Figured, that you'll be able to effortlessly build plans in Commercial Manager, giving those that need it a focus and a chance at success through troubling times. Commercial Manager is currently available at Farm Creation, so there shouldn't be anything stopping you right now. If you need any assistance, please reach out in the green chat bubble and we'll try to help you out as best we can. Thanks very much for your time. Have a great day.